Yoshitomo Nara is an artist that is responsible for influencing part of what makes up Japan's neo-pop movement. Born December 5, 1959 in Hirosaki as the only child of working parents, his artwork was influenced by what he was exposed to growing up: family pets, imagination, and comic books, which expanded to include pop culture elements of manga and anime, as well as punk rock. All of this, with a mix of traditional Japanese art techniques and Western modernism, can be seen in his famous depictions of contrastingly innocent, yet devious children and animals that retain an intensity that belies its cute countenance. By analyzing his work, one can see why he has made such an impact. Though it is difficult to box in an artist, Nara can best be identified as part of the postmodern super-flat art movement that is a key facet of the neo-pop movement, founded by fellow artist Takashi Murakami, another Japanese contemporary artist. Simply put, Superflat is his manifesto on the compression of Japanese graphic design and pop culture. But despite its name, there is a surprising depth that is bendable to many aspects that make up this movement, such as the connection between classical Japanese art and modern anime cartoons, as well as the Western and Eastern world, the merging of high and low elements akin to the pop art movement in America, and the observation and critique of contemporary morals and motivations of society. Aspects of Superflat can be seen in the motifs, style, and messages of Nara's artwork, of which the In the Floating World series, made in 1999, is a good example of. In terms of Superflat, it showcases a mix of Japanese and Western. As a base, he utilizes the strong outlines and flat colors of traditional ukiyo-e, literally translated as pictures of the floating world, which are commercialized woodblock prints prevalent in the Edo period of Japan. He mixes that traditional style with his trademark images of simplified young children with angular, fierce features, and interjections of modern and violent expressions, such as slash with a knife. The main subjects of this series brings in aspects of the Superflat in multiple ways as well. Firstly, in having children as subjects, which in turn brings up themes of kawaii, or cuteness that is big in the Superflat movement. The depiction of the cartoonish children with their large eyes is also indicative of Western media influence, like Disney, of which anime derives and adopts its characteristic features from. Like other Superflat artists, he uses children as a vessel for his own personal themes. In the way he depicts these children, however, they are either committing acts of violence or using their gaze to convey unchildlike emotions, like aggression or melancholic contemplation, the former conveying the artist's own adult feelings of pent-up emotions, and the latter conveying a lack or flatness of presence or life, which is an issue often raised about Japanese society. By doing all this in one piece, he also flattens the concept of high-end art with pop art to make a very Japanese product, reminiscent of American pop art, another concept that the Superflat movement likes to play with. Nara also addresses different aspects of Superflat in his 2001 installation titled I Don't Mind If You Forget Me. In this installation, he asked fans to hand sew and send a Nara plush toy, or a toy with Nara art characteristics, which he used to fill up clear acrylic letters that spelled out the installation title. Doubling as both a greeting to visitors and a part of the installation, it was mounted above shelves full of Nara's own vintage collectible toys. In another section, a giant mirror with the words "Your Childhood" printed across it is juxtaposed by the heap of fan-made dolls on the floor that the visitor is reflected against. In terms of Superflat elements, he again has his signature characters present. However, much of this installation is a step of twisting and going beyond Superflat to develop the artist's own themes. For example, homogenized and superficial consumerism is a super flat favorite for criticism, but Nara reverses the selling of his characters to toy companies so that each doll now has a sense of individuality from each fan. The use of children also indicates innocence and cuteness, but when displayed in a state of abandonment is now contrasted with a sense of horror and loss. Toys, according to psychoanalyst D.W. Winnicott, are transition objects, both from mothers and from childhood itself. So to discard one is to discard childhood itself. Again, Nara flattens the social hierarchy by opening participation to anybody and everybody. However, he goes beyond by using the universal theme of childhood that adds a sense of globalization and belonging that earlier contemporary Japanese artists struggled to reach. Ironically, this theme of abandonment and loneliness create a community of adults that can be lonely together. All of this works together to beckon the visitors to reflect and share in their experiences, as Nara uses all of this to build up a sense of belonging for the visitor. As mentioned before, many contemporary artists of the past, such as Shuzo Takiguchi, have expressed their lament at the lack of Japanese presence and impact on the global modern art movement beyond surface-level visuals. And in some aspects, Nara is very much influenced by the flatness and superficiality of past styles. However, he has continued to develop and refine his styles as the years go by, as he expands upon his own themes and tries to find his identity through interactions with his fans and community. He still uses his motifs of children to develop his themes, but they are softer, more aware of the power of contemplation compared to the flash and the temporary aspect of the instant surface emotion. And this aspect may carry his art and the superflat movement into one of lasting connection, rather than the brief pick of interest, and shape Japanese neo-pop art into something greater.